How's it going, guys? You're watching Eazy.Jesus.Boxing, and we're going to talk about the the fights this Saturday on December the 13th. It's pretty much it's going to be the Super Bowl for boxing. I mean, we got a total of 7 fights. You got 4 on Showtime, and you have 3 on HBO. If you're lucky like me, Showtime fights will start at 6 p.m. for me. And then when those are over, they'll show the HBO replay in HD on HBO. So for those of you on the East Coast, I feel kind of bad for you because fights won't start till 9 p.m. for you guys. Thank God I live in the Pacific Northwest. So let's go ahead and get started with the Showtime card. It looks like we're going to have Charlo versus Lozano, Mares versus Ramirez, and Keith Thurman versus Bundu. And then, of course, Devon versus Amir Khan. Now, Charlo versus Lozano, I can't really say much about the fight considering I don't really know who Lozano. I don't even know if I'm saying his name right, pronouncing his name right. Was it Lozano? For those of you who don't know, Charlo was actually supposed to fight Demetrius Andrade, but Demetrius pulled out of the fight. He felt maybe it was a better decision because he felt maybe he was possibly going to get cheated, considering he's never fought on Showtime before. He's fighting, one of the Charlo Bros who's promoted by Al Heyman, who works with Showtime. So he's kind of, I guess I can understand his point, and I guess he wanted more money. He doesn't understand why he's fighting on the undercard. I guess he wanted main event money, but the guy's never fought on a main event before, so I didn't really understand that. But moving forward, I would imagine Charlo would probably take that fight pretty easily. Hopefully not. Maybe it'll turn out to be a good fight, and we'll be lucky like that. As for Mares versus Ramirez, I mean, for those of you who don't know, Ramirez, I believe it's the same Ramirez who fought Vasil Lomachenko on the undercard against Marquez Bradley. He was actually knocked out or counted out due to a body shot. I'm pretty sure of it. So I'm not really interested in that fight either. I mean, it's a fight, so I'm gonna watch it obviously, but I'd like to see Abner Mares kind of step up just a tad bit more. I mean, his last fight was supposed to be somewhat of a tune-up fight. I would consider this a tune-up fight as well. As for the other one, Leonard Bundu is his name. Sorry, Leonard Bundu versus Keith Thurman. Now, a lot of people are a little bit confused about this fight because Keith Thurman's fighting a undefeated fighter. I don't remember his record, but he doesn't have any KOs, so I would imagine I've only seen him fight one time. That was his fight against Frankie Gavin, which he won, which was somewhat of a decent scrap, but doesn't really have much power. But he does have some pretty good boxing abilities, and I mean, a lot of people are actually saying, from what I heard, I don't necessarily agree, but some people are actually saying that London's going to get the upset here. Some people have actually gone far as saying that he'll get the upset and he'll knock down Keith Thurman. I don't remember who said that. I believe it might have been 78 Sports TV. I love his channels. If you don't watch 78 Sports TV's videos, check him out. He's awesome. He's a great guy. I love his boxing opinions, and he's a good guy. You should check him out. So I'll go ahead and take Keith Thurman in that fight. I just feel like maybe his activity and his power should give him the win in the late rounds. As for Devon Alexander and Amir Khan, now this fight can either go two ways. This can either be a really fun, exciting fight to watch, or this could be a really boring fight. That's what I'm kind of leaning towards. I think it's going to be a really boring fight. Both Amir Khan used to be the type of guy you'd watch, and whether he won or lost, his fights were just exciting, but considering he's got a new trainer now, Virgil Hunter, he's turned more into a throw his punches coming in, and as he's done throwing his punches, he clinches. Somewhat of a Vitaly Klitschko type style, and of course he's not leaning on fighters or anything like that like Vitaly. But that's what he's from what I've seen when he fought Collazo. It looked like he added the clinch to his arsenal. As for Devon Alexander, I mean, you got a slick, tricky southpaw. He always comes to fight. Unfortunately, he doesn't really win the biggest fights, but he's definitely a test for Amir Khan. This fight it really is a 50-50 fight. I mean, you got Amir Khan. You can easily say Amir Khan's gonna win this fight easily with his combinations and speed. But honestly, I feel like the older Amir Khan, the reckless Amir Khan, was a lot more dangerous than the one that's probably showing up this next Saturday. Um, as for Devon Alexander, I mean, nothing changes. He's a straight pure boxer. He's got obviously speed. He's got good footwork, good lateral movement. Um, I don't know who I'm going to pick on this fight. Really, it's really a tough one to pick. I think what, I'm going to go with the upset here. Of course, many people don't really. Maybe it's not an upset. I don't know. I'm going to go ahead and take Devon Alexander in this one in a split decision. That's what I'll do. Yeah. So hopefully it turns out to be a really good fight. But my honest opinion, I honestly feel like it's going to be a somewhat of a snooze fest. But I'll still watch because I'm a boxing fan, like most of you. So go ahead and leave your comments in the video. Tell me who you guys think will win the fights this upcoming Saturday. Actually, we got to talk about the HBO card. On the HBO card, we have Mauricio Herrera versus Benavides, I believe his name is. I don't remember how to pronounce his name. I've never even seen the guy fight before. Mauricio Herrera. I mean, Mauricio Herrera. He's I mean, you can't really count the guy out. I mean, the guy, he shows up and he fights and he's always schooling people. I mean, he schooled Danny Garcia in Puerto Rico. He beat Ruslan on Friday Night Fights, ESPN fight a few years back. I mean, you just can't count the guy out. The guy is he's talented, And then honestly, since I've never seen the guy fight, and then he doesn't really rank very high in boxing record. But you never know. I mean, this is boxing. I mean, things happen all the time. But I'm gonna go ahead and say that I give that one to Herrera. And then after that, we have Matt Korobov. Is it Korobov against Andy Lee? Now, that right there, I'm going to go ahead and say now that fight might be fight of the night. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and say that's going to be fight of the night. I mean, I honestly don't see that fight, excuse me, going 12 rounds. I'm going to go ahead and take Matt Korobov in that fight. And, I mean, Andy Lee, I mean, he's a good fighter. He's more of a boxer. But honestly, I don't think he really has a chance to win. I mean, obviously he has a chance to win the fight, but he knocked out the I forgot who he was fighting against, but it was on the Cotto Martinez undercard. He was down on the scorecards. He was getting kind of beat up a little bit here and there. He's having some moments, and then he I don't want to say lucky punches. There's no lucky punches in boxing, but he KO'd the guy. He put him straight to sleep. So I mean, it was good to see him win a fight because I'm actually kind of an Andy Lee fan. The guy he fights everyone. I mean, he loves to fight, and he's Irish. I mean, what's not to love about the Irish when they love to fight, So I hope nothing but the best, but I honestly don't see him win this fight. We'll go ahead and take Matt Korobov in that one, and then we got the Diego Chaves against Timothy Bradley. Now this fight right here, I would imagine if Timothy Bradley can stay on the outside and box, and use his lateral movement and get off first, I would imagine it should be a unanimous decision for Timothy Bradley. But that being said, how many times have you expected Timothy Bradley to go into a fight and box and then end up brawling with the guy? For instance, when he fought Ruslan Provodnikov, when he fought this Manny Pacquiao in this last one. Although this last fight with Manny Pacquiao, his second fight with Manny Pacquiao, was actually a lot closer than the first one. He actually lifted Manny Pacquiao off his feet with a right hand in the fourth round. That was actually a pretty good fight. I wouldn't mind seeing those two go at it again. Even though Manny Pacquiao clearly won the fight, but it was still a good fight to watch. Diego Chaves is coming off a 9th, 10th round loss due to disqualification against Brian Rios. That was the fight I was talking about in my other video. How I was telling all my friends apparently it was gonna be such a good fight, and everyone came over, and then they ended up just kind of stinking up the joint, And now up to this point, we really haven't seen too much of Diego Chaves. We've seen him, fight Keith Thurman back in 2000, last year, June or July. That was actually a really good fight. He was giving, Keith Thurman a lot of problems until, Keith Thurman finally caught him with a few body shots. And I picked Diego Chaves to win that fight. And that just because of that fight, I really became a pretty good supporter of Keith Thurman. I didn't really think he was. I thought he was all hype until he beat. I guess I guess you could say who is Diego Chaves beaten, but Diego Chaves is a tough guy and he comes to fight. Believe that, So if Timothy Bradley decides he wants to brawl with Diego Chaves, I would say that's a pretty bad idea, and you could really see an upset, if that happens. If Timothy Bradley decides he wants to do that, because he's talking about how he changed his diet in his training camp, how he went from vegan to adding meat, hoping that it would, give him some more, maybe give him more power in his punches and more strength, That's great, that's cool, whatever works out for him. But if he wants to try and slug it out with Diego Chaves, it might not end so well for him. Although Timothy Bradley does have a hell of a chin. So I also saw a video, or it was an article just the other day. Actually, it was today. Timothy Bradley was saying, well, if Diego Chaves wants to fight dirty, I could fight dirty too. So maybe he doesn't go full 12 rounds. Maybe we'll get another, disqualification. I hope not. I want to see a good fight. So hopefully, Timothy Bradley can put on a show, and who knows what will be in store for him in the future. So, and that should be it. So I think my picks were Mares, Charlo, Thurman, Devon Alexander. That's right. Herrera, Mauricio Herrera, Matt Korobov over Andy Lee, and if Timothy Bradley can box for 12 rounds, him over Diego Chaves. So go ahead and leave your picks for all 7 fights. Obviously, did I present my picks for the Showtime, or maybe I didn't? Well, I'll take Mares. Oh no, I did. Okay. Go ahead and leave your picks. I'd like to know what picks you guys have for 7 fights. And oh, by the way, Victor Ortiz is fighting this Saturday. I wonder if maybe they'll show his fights before the Showtime card starts. Maybe Showtime Extreme. So look out for him. We'll see where the crazy world or roller coaster Victor Ortiz takes us. So you guys enjoy the rest of your night or day or whatever you're doing when you're watching this, and take care. Thanks.